Let me ask you a hard question. What if the wilderness is not lasting because God has forgotten you? What if it is lasting because you keep becoming the same person every time pressure shows up? I know that is uncomfortable, but I have had to ask myself the same question. Why do I keep praying for a new season while responding with the same fear? Why do I keep asking God to move me forward while I keep reaching backward? Why do I want different results without changing the behavior that created the cycle? At some point, you have to stop blaming the wilderness. You have to look at yourself because your behavior in the wilderness determines how long you stay there. I have been in seasons where I was frustrated, tired, and disappointed. I felt overlooked. I felt delayed. I felt like I was doing everything I knew to do and still getting nowhere. And the longer it lasted, the more dangerous my thinking became. I started questioning my value. I started comparing my life to people who appeared to be moving faster. I started wanting quick answers more than I wanted the right answers. And that is where the wilderness becomes dangerous. Not because there is no provision, but because pain can make you betray your own future. You start calling desperation faith. You start calling impatience strategy. You start forcing doors because you are tired of waiting. You start reconnecting with people God removed. You start lowering your standards because loneliness is speaking louder than wisdom. You start abandoning discipline because discipline has not rewarded you fast enough. And then you wonder why nothing changes. All right, this is personal. Some of us are not stuck because we lack opportunity. We are stuck because every time pressure hits, we become undisciplined, we become emotional, we become inconsistent. We stop praying, we stop planning, we stop showing up. Then we ask God to bless a version of us that disappears whenever life gets hard. You have to agree, that cannot continue. The wilderness is revealing what comfort allowed you to hide. It is showing you whether your faith is conviction or convenience. It is showing you whether your discipline is real or dependent on results. It is showing you whether you can remain faithful when nobody notices. And I really want you to think about this. What do you become when nothing is working? Do you become bitter? Do you become careless? Do you become jealous? Do you become reckless? Do you start sabotaging the very thing you prayed for? Because I have learned something about myself. Sometimes I was asking God to remove the pressure when the pressure was exposing a weakness I refused to confront. I wanted relief. God wanted maturity. I wanted the door to open. God wanted me to stop falling apart in front of closed doors. I wanted a breakthrough. God wanted a different man to walk into it. That is the part nobody wants to hear. Your next season may require a version of you that does not exist yet. So what is missing? Maybe it is consistency. Maybe it is humility. Maybe it is self-control. Maybe it is the courage to stop blaming everybody else. Maybe it is the discipline to keep doing the right thing when nothing seems to be changing. You do not leave the wilderness by screaming louder. You leave by becoming stronger. You leave when delay no longer makes you desperate. You leave when disappointment no longer changes your character. You leave when you stop making emotional decisions that create another year of consequences. So stop asking only, God, when are you going to bring me out? Ask, God, what in me cannot come with me? Because some habits cannot enter the promise. Some relationships cannot enter the promise. Some excuses cannot enter the promise. Some versions of you have to die in the wilderness. And maybe that is why you are still there. Not because God is trying to destroy you, because He refuses to let the thing that almost destroyed you follow you into your next season. Your behavior in the wilderness determines how long you stay there. So change the behavior, break the pattern, end the excuse, and become the person your next season requires.